Hello and welcome. You are joining me today in the beautiful Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Behind me is Beaver Lake. Today we will be practicing yin, and always as a reminder, yin is our practice of slowness, of stillness, of really taking our time, but as I always like to say is we are giving ourselves time. For today's practice, I recommend having 2 blocks, potentially a blanket, a pillow. We want a lot of support for this practice. And you will want something like a strap or an equivalent of. So whether that is a scarf, a towel, anything like that, we're just going to use it as a little bit of support during some twists today. When you are ready, we'll get started in a comfortable seat. For me, that is going to be a Sukhasana. I take a block under my glutes, finding that cross-legged position. But don't just hurry up and get here. I want you to take your time. Maybe rocking back and forth, side to side, roll out the shoulders. Take a few moments to just get yourself here, get yourself comfortable. And while we're here in this initial pose, I want you to feel free to rearrange the legs however you like, however is comfortable for your body. In this beginning part, it's all about coming into presence and breath. Our physical shape does not matter much. When you're ready, we ground down in the legs, draw the shoulders down and back. Let's close the eyes, flip the palms down onto the knees. Just breathe. Soften the brow, relax the jaw, drop the shoulders, elbows get heavier. Notice the breath. Starting to invite the inhales just a little deeper, each one just a little deeper than the last. Attempting to make those exhales a little bit slower. Let them take a little longer, maybe more complete, pulling that belly up and in, squeezing to wring out the lungs. Refilling each breath naturally, mindfully, intentionally. Asking every inhale to guide you closer into this moment, into your body, onto your mat. And every exhale to assist you in releasing any other thoughts that are plaguing the mind. The to-do lists, the things that happened earlier today, the plans for later. Letting yourself create a force field of energy, of time and space where you are purely suspended in your present moment. Not worrying about who we need to be, what we have to do, but coming back to our truest, highest self. Let the legs get softer, the shoulders drop a little more. Relax the brow and the jaw again. Start to find circles in the neck, nice and slow. Try to make these circles as slow as you possibly can. Taking your time. Maybe spending multiple breaths to complete a circle. Keeping those shoulders drawn down. Try to exaggerate each circle just a little bit more. Guiding the chin a little closer to the chest, the ear a little closer to the shoulder, the back of the head along the spine. Staying with your breath, again, not being rigid with the breath, not having too many requirements for the breath. Coming to this space where we are allowed to just exist. 3 more circles in this neck. And upon the completion of that 3rd circle, switch directions. Exploring how the body feels different on the different sides, the different spaces. Staying with the depth of breath, just with that awareness. Again, not forcing the breath to be too big, not forcing the breath to be too empty. We're coming to a space where we feel we can inflate the lungs and refresh them by completely emptying what was. It's a great way to let go when we're dwelling on things, on the past, or even taking our focus to the future. Finding that complete emptiness of the lungs. Bringing all new, fresh breath in. 3 more circles with this neck. Again, slow, mindful. Keep the shoulders drawn down. Upon the completion of that 3rd circle, guide the head back up to center, reaching the crown of the head to the sky. Lengthen up from behind the ears. Draw the shoulders back. Pull them down the spine. Tuck the elbows in. Now we're flipping the palms up. Close the eyes. Keep the breath. Now we're going to take the breath intentionally fuller. We're going to inhale to our fullest. Very, very full. Then we're going to hold it at the top, taking 1 more sip. Maybe a little bit more. Then slowly release the air as gently as you can. Take your time, slow, slow, slow exhale, pulling that navel up and in. Get all of that breath out. Take 5 more breaths this way. Inhaling to your fullest all the way to the top. Finding a little hold at the top, maybe taking in 1 more sip. Then slowly releasing all the way out. Squeeze, pull the belly up and then sit with the emptiness for just a moment. 4 more. Let these breaths take effort. This is meant to be a challenge. Squeezing all that breath out, sit with that emptiness, get comfy with it. Get to know every edge of the lungs. 2 more. Final 1. Softening in the edges of the breath, coming to a more natural pace. Notice if that stretched out the lungs a little bit. If the fuller breath is a little bit more natural and easy. If the empty breath feels more comfortable and accepted. Beginning with some nerve flossing today, flip both palms down. As we take the right hand out to the side, palm faces forward. Tuck the 4 fingers in, give that thumbs up. We're going to start to pull that fist down towards the mat, pull the shoulders back and down, lengthen from behind the ears. We're going to keep this stability in the neck and shoulders. Keeping that thumb facing up as you inhale, lift the thumb up to the sky, as comfortable as feels good. And on the exhale, flip the thumb to face down, slowly lower. Inhaling that thumbs up. Exhaling to bring the thumb down. Now, as you keep those movements with your breath, we're then going to draw the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhaling that thumb up. Exhaling the thumb down. Staying with your breath. Again, inhaling the thumb up. And exhaling the thumb down. You complete that next breath when the thumb has come all the way down. Keep the thumb facing down as we then bring the head back to center. We're going to take the gaze to the left. Take the chin to the left shoulder. Inhaling with the thumb up. And exhaling with the thumb down. Nice and slow. Maybe you want to find a little bit more organic movement with the thumb. Maybe it becomes more of a figure 8 shape where you press that thumb to the wall behind you as you bring it up. Scooping it at the top, guiding it back down. But keep your eyes closed, your breath deep. Keep the gaze looking to the left. 2 more breaths here. One last big one. So we then return the head back to center, release the left hand, shake out that left arm, roll out the shoulder, maybe find some neck roll. Dissipate that heat, rearrange it, let it go. Maybe rearranging the legs, switching the legs if you'd like, any variation. If you want, you can always offer extra support. For me, that one side always needs it. Draw the shoulders down and back, lengthen up from behind the ears. We're going to keep that T shape in the neck and shoulders, intentional and strong. Right palm plants on the knee, left hand reaches down out to the side. Tucking the 4 fingers, leaving the thumb facing up. Keeping the shoulders drawn back and down. Keeping that length from behind the ears. We find the breath. Inhale, thumb goes up to the sky. Exhale, turn that thumb down. We find the rhythm first. We're starting to warm up. This is what the nerve flossing is. Inhaling as it goes up. And exhaling as it brings down. One more breath with the gaze forward. Inhale the thumb up. And exhale, bring the thumb down. Before we inhale up, we're going to bring that right ear to the right shoulder. Inhaling that thumb up. Exhaling to bring it down, and it's okay if this brings up unwanted emotions. We might find a lot of resistance here. You might find the mind getting cranky, the body getting crabby. Do as much as you can. Not fighting the mind, but understanding that we're breaking some heavy stuff up here. We store a lot of tension in these areas. One more breath. As we lift the gaze back to neutral, taking the gaze over to the right, chin over the shoulder. Inhaling that thumb up. Exhaling it down. Again, find a little bit more fluidity. Maybe turn that thumb more to the back wall as you inhale. Press it up and back, making more of a figure 8 shape. Exhaling it down. Around. You can make this as intuitive as you'd like. You can keep the eyes closed. There's no wrong way. We're breathing. 2 more breaths here. One more. Bring the head back to center, release the shoulder, maybe shake out the arms, roll out the shoulders. Roll out the neck, wiggle out the jaw, notice where you held the tension. Together, let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears, fill the body with breath, exhale, sigh it out, dump it all. Soften that body. 2 more. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Maybe bring the elbows up with it. Exhale, dump it. 1 more. Inhale, T-Rex arms, wrists to shoulders. Inhale all that tension. Maybe make fists with the hands. Exhale, dump it. Legs out wide. As wide as feels good. I like to keep that block under my glutes. You may want a blanket. You may like a pillow. If the hamstrings are feeling tighter, if this just feels a lot for the back of the leg, offer blocks, pillows, maybe rolled up towels under the knees. Just soften the bend. Remember, we're here to get comfortable with the discomfort, not push ourselves to the point of pain. It is your job to decide that for your body. Ground down into the glutes, lengthen from behind the ears. Tuck the elbows in, flip the palms up, close the eyes, come back to breath. Staying in your center, in your trusted space. We're going to start with a heart opener today. Not always the easiest, but trust me, it's worth it. Again, inhale to the top, nice soft sigh. We're clearing out the stuff. If it's in your practice, interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the palms together, pull the fists down towards the ground, wiggle in, open up. Now, if the hands are not touching, we're gonna take that strap, we're gonna take that blanket, towel, whatever you have, and then we will use that to bridge the gap between the hands. So even if the hands don't touch, extend that out. Even if we're out here, that's perfect. Open these shoulders, open this heart as much as feels good. As we inhale, lift the chin up to the sky, open the heart. On the exhale, find as far of a forward fold as feels good. Now this may just be a centimeter forward. This may be multiple inches forward, but I want you to keep the neck long, close the eyes, keep the fingers interlaced. Do what you can here. Breathe. It's yogi's choice. You can let the head hang heavy. You can find neck circles here. You could rock from side to side, rock back and forth. We don't always have to find stillness. 3 more breaths into this bind, then we'll take the full fold. Opening that heart, softening those shoulders. Find your love and appreciation. Not just where you give love, but how you receive love. We're opening our hearts to it. Final breath, we inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, slowly release the hands, lift them to the sky. As you exhale, find your forward fold, fingertips to the mat or the ground. We can lean it forward, stay resting on the fingertips. You could let the head hang heavy. You could drop the forearms down to the ground, maybe flip the palms up. You could find support under the belly if this is a lot for the lower back. Pillows, blankets, bridge that gap. The more we support the lower belly, the more support we offer for the lumbar spine. Breathe as you need, trust as you will. Slow, steady breath. Sigh it out for a release. We're just existing here. You can stay with a natural breath if your mind can stick with it. If you ever seem to find the mind wandering or the body feeling anxious, start to even the inhales and the exhales, making them the same length. Once you build that rhythm, you always have the option for a Ujjayi Pranayama, where we have that slight constriction in the back of the throat.
Bringing in 2 more slow breaths. Nourishing ourselves with everything we need from this posture. And exhaling what no longer serves us. In the very bottom of that final exhale, guide the fingertips to the mat as you inhale, and very slowly, just one vertebrae at a time, rolling yourself up. Moving like molasses, slow, steady. We're not in any rush. Tucking the elbows in, drawing the shoulders down and back, lengthen up from behind the ears. Take 2 deep breaths. Soften the brow, the jaw, the shoulders on the exhale. Let the glutes glow, the legs relax. Relax the traps. In your own time, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Coming to that Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet touching, knees butterflied out. Offer support under the knees if that feels right. So a lot of times this can be a lot for the hips. We have options. So for me personally, I need the block under my glutes. I need that height to give myself the ability to rotate the pelvis forward. This gives myself space. Lets the hips fall open, the knees can fall open. Now, if we ever feel at a tightness in the knees here, we want to offer that support. That could be way up here, could be down at the edge of the knee, but bridge that gap. The body will not surrender if it doesn't feel safe. Ground down in the legs, lengthen up in the spine. Where's the breath? Wiggle those toes together, create the connection, shine the palms out to the side, face them forward. Inhale, scoop the hands up and wide. Then the exhale, find a reach forward, reach as far forward as we can. And as you exhale it all, surrender. Now we can have blocks under the hands. You could press yourself up, support with the arms, simply rest the head. You can rock from side to side, back and forth. Again, if this is a lot for the lower back, bridge the gap between the belly and the ground. Flick the palms up as a sign of surrender. Sigh it out when you feel you've arrived. Allow yourself to just breathe. If the neck or backside body is ever craving a little more, you can interlace the fingers down by the base of the neck, the base of the head, only if it feels good. You can rock the head from side to side. You can wiggle out the jaw. Honor what soothes your body, what eases your mind. No matter what, stay with breath. Bringing in 2 more slow breaths. Letting the breath flow through the body like an ocean's wave. On the bottom of that exhale, use the fingertips. Just slowly roll you up, just 1 vertebrae at a time, as slowly as you can. Give yourself support as you rise up. Head comes up last. As the crown of the head reaches tall, draw the shoulders down and back, tuck the elbows in, flip the palms up. Take 2 slow breaths. Flushing out that sticky, crunchy energy we found, replacing it with that new blood flow, saturated with oxygen. Moving slowly, moving mindfully, we're going to make our way to a tabletop. A place where the hands are below the shoulders, knees are under hips, fingers are spread wide. Tuck the toes under, shift the hips from side to side, let the head hang heavy. Thanking these hips, keeping the fingers spread wide, we're going to guide the body in circles. Inhaling as you bring the body forward and around, exhaling as you guide it back and around. Really think about moving the hips here more than anything. Switching directions, switching the breath, inhaling when we go back, exhaling as we guide forward. On the bottom of the next breath, guiding the body back to neutral. Keep those fingers spread wide. Make the neck long. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Drop the belly. Inhale, cow. Lift the chin up to the sky. Exhale, cat. Round the spine. Tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Shoulder blades pressed together. Think about lengthening the throat. Exhale, cat. Round and tuck. Ribs go high. Inhale, cow. Exaggerate. Exhale, cat. Empty completely. So you find a neutral spine. Knees come out wide. Toes come to touch. Inhale to press the heart forward. Exhale, child's pose. Tail guides back towards the heels. Slow surrender. Press the palms down into the mat. Then slowly lower down. That allows the shoulders to be guided down the spine. Finding your variation of surrender. Maybe the third eye is on the mat. Maybe the belly can drop. If we ever feel like that is a lot for the shoulders, for the body, any part, we can bring blocks under the belly, the chest, the head, blankets, pillows. Bring the ground up to you, whatever point is comfortable. As we come back to the breath, side out when you have arrived. Let yourself just be here. Feeling free to change variations at any point. You could take an ear to the mat. You could drape the hands down by the sides. Listening to what your body is craving. Knowing that whatever is true right now is welcome. Bringing in 2 more slow breaths. Dropping all of that tension on those exhales. The bottom of that exhale as you fill the lungs, send the body long into a sphinx pose. Legs are long and extend. Elbows below shoulders, tops of the feet onto the mat. Lengthen in the neck. Lengthen up from behind the ears, tuck the chin, try to pull the shoulder blades apart. One more inhale, get a little taller. And the exhale, stack the hands, rest to the third eye, down. Let the belly soften, shift the hips from side to side. Coming back into center, bend both knees, roll out the ankles. Thanking the ankles, thank the feet, scrunch the toes in, spread them wide. Point the toes, pull them towards the shins. Just acknowledge these ankles. Keep movement in the ankles, even just rocking the feet from side to side for 2 more breaths. Bring all of your intention and love to this support system. Imagine we thanked our feet for every step we took, even just today. What a gift. Knowing how much you and your feet have been through together. These ankles, all the places they've taken us, the experiences they've allowed. Loving these bodies. Lowering the feet back down to the mat, guide the hands below the shoulders, peel the body back up to a tabletop. Hands below shoulders, knees under hips, let that head hang heavy. Shift the hips from side to side style cat and cow. So pull the ribs out to the side, make that crescent moon shape with the body. So we then make our way up towards the top of our mat. We shift over onto the sit bones, planting the feet flat in front of us. We'll want our blocks and our strap within reach. Hooking the hands behind the knees, draw the shoulders down and back. Inhale to lift the heart up. Exhale, slowly lower down. One vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a time. Walking the feet up close to the glutes, draw the shoulder blades down the spine, hands onto the belly. Just breathe with me. Finding the spine as flat as we can onto the mat. Lifting the tailbone, lift the hips, tuck the tailbone. So tuck that tail, lower the lumbar down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone last. Lengthening that lower back, come back to breath. Walking the feet out wide to the very edges of the mat. Windshield wiper the knees. You can cactus the arms if it's in your practice. You can reach for opposite elbows up over your head. You can have the hands on the belly. Moving the hips, rocking the knees from side to side. Maybe you press the knees down a little closer to the mat. Two more breaths into these windshield wipers. Slow, steady, and intentional. Bottom of that final breath, the knees guide back into neutral, in which we're going to take our strap in hand. Sending the left leg long, we're going to take the strap under the right foot. If it's easier to keep that left foot planted for stability, we just want the strap under the right foot. Eventually, at that point, if it feels good in your body, send the left leg long. This is really where the power comes in. Micro bend in the knee. We want that strap just below the ball mount of the foot. Bend in the knee as much as feels good. If that hamstring is even remotely tight, micro bend. So we start to flex into the feet, maybe guiding the foot down a little closer to the calf, opening up the Achilles heel. Just take a big breath here. Feeling the opening of that leg, we're then going to gather the strap in one hand. Finding this, wrapping it around the hand for stability. We're going to find a twist here. On the inhale, cactus the right arm. On the exhale, with that strap, guide the foot over to the left. So we're finding a twist. Finding this twist in this space, adjusting as you see fit and necessary. Now, if this ever feels on the inhale, cactus the right arm, have that palm flip up. As you exhale, use the strap to guide the leg over to the left. So keeping that leg long, micro bend if that feels good. Guide it over as far as you like. We want to use that strap as support. Keep the right shoulder glued to the ground. If this feels like a lot for the body, we can bridge the gap under the right knee with pillows, with blankets. If the support of the strap feels good, notice this right glute. You can track that right hip down, lengthening the side body, get more into the psoas. You could rock it around, settle into stillness, honor what you need, sigh it out when you've arrived. We're getting into that piriformis. We're opening that SI joint. Big deep breaths. 3 more breaths here. Getting everything you need, leave behind what you don't. Think about making space between the right ribs and the hip. And exhaling to wring out that tension. The very bottom of that final breath, inhale the foot back to center, nice and slow. As we then slowly release that right foot down to the mat, windshield wiper the single knee, sweep that right knee from side to side. And bringing the legs to a figure 4, right knee falls out wide, sole of the foot presses into the inner thigh. Soften the legs here for 2 breaths. Take the hands to the pelvis. Really melt into the mat. Sending the right leg long. Take your time, pulling the left foot in. Guiding that strap under the left foot, directly under the ball mount of the foot. Remember, sometimes it's easier to do that when both feet are planted. Honor what you need. Strap directly below the ball mount of the foot, getting a good grip, maybe flexing those toes, micro bend as much as feels good. Just open up the back of that left leg. Thank the feet, thank the legs, thank the hips, thank those glutes. Honor these hands for holding the strap or towel, scarf, whatever you got. As we transfer that strap into one hand, into that right hand, we inhale, cactus the left arm. Exhale, guide that leg over to the right, keeping the left shoulder glued to the mat. Bringing that as far over as feels good. Now we want to support the leg with the strap. We're not trying to use our muscles to hold this here. We want that to be able to surrender to guide. If this feels scary for the body, bridge the gap under that right knee. Build a little wall with pillows and blocks and blankets. As you're here, think about inhaling this left hip down. So inhaling the side body long. And then exhaling to wring it out a little bit more. Breathing into this glute, into this piriformis, all the way into that IT band. This whole side of the hip, big belly breaths. Taking 3 more breaths here on every inhale. Track that left hip down. On the exhale, think about softening the rib cage. The very bottom of that final breath, let the inhalation slowly guide the leg back into center. As we gently release the foot back down to the mat. Planting that left foot, windshield wiper the single knee. Let that left knee rock from side to side. Bringing legs to a figure 4, left knee falls out wide. Sole of the foot presses into the inside of the thigh. Let the legs soften, hands on the pelvis, 2 slow breaths. Melts the glutes, the hips, the back, the neck, the shoulders. Notice where we may have transferred the tension. When we get into uncomfortable spots, yes, maybe we're relaxing the hips, but maybe we extra tense the shoulders. Maybe we shifted that tension into our brow, our jaw. Let it go. Sending the left leg long, flop both feet from side to side. Rocking both feet from side to side, letting that rock all the way up into the hips. Finishing our practice with a supported bridge pose. Walk both feet up towards the glutes. Here we want to use a pillow, a block, a blanket, preferably something dense to place under the glutes. Pressing into the feet, we inhale to lift the hips. You'll use the largest, flattest side of the block directly under the sacrum. under that flat spot at the base of the spine. Now, if the first block feels good and you want more, add more. Take as much or as little as you'd like from this. Feet can be planted. You could extend the legs long. You could bring the legs to a Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet to touch. You could bring the knees in together. Let the feet come out wide. You could have cactus arms. You could reach up overhead. You could reach for opposite elbows above the head. Honor what you need. And just breathe. Feeling free to switch variations at any point in time. Listen to what your body is craving. It will tell you. All we have to do is listen. Bring in 2 more slow breaths, however you need to be. So we bring everything back into center. If you feel steady on what you're supported by, your blocks, your pillows, whatever it may be, if it's in your practice, you can pull the knees up, hovering those knees over the hips. Roll out the ankles if that feels good. Send the legs long up to the sky. Point the toes. Roll out the ankles. You could spread the legs wide if you choose. You could leave the knees bent. However you want to be. One more breath. Slowly lower the feet down. Ground the feet down as you inhale. Lift the hips. Exhale. Remove the support. Lower down one vertebrae at a time. As you send the legs long, let us find our way into our final Shavasana. Tucking the chin, draw the shoulders down the back, wiggle out the jaw, rock the head from side to side. Inhale to your fullest. Exhale, melt and sigh. finding your final moments of rest, these final moments of peace. See what it means to completely let go and fully release. Slowly begin connecting back with your breath. Inviting the inhale deep. Coming back into the physical, noticing the mind, move the fingers, the toe. Rolling out the wrists and the ankles, reach the arms up overhead like you just woke up for the very first time. Rolling on to your preferred side in a supported fetal position. A quote from Bob Riley. Hard times do not create heroes. It is during the hard times when the hero within us is revealed. Using the strength of your arms to press yourself up into a comfortable seat, let us share a single breath together, sealing our practice today. Guiding the hands into heart center, let's empty the lungs completely. Together we pull in a slow, deep, mindful inhale all the way to the top. One more sip, maybe a little bit more. Then gentle release. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. May your entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening. I hope you rest well and feel well. And I can't wait to see you next time.